So if you're back around for part 2, it's probably because you want to make it into a bigger square like I've been doing. And you're probably one of the few people that has actually been following somewhat from the beginning and making these squares along with me. So thank you for sticking with me. As you can see for this round, we're going to be working the alternate round. We're going to be working a solid round. So you're just going to be double crocheting in every stitch and 2 double crochet in every chain stitch around. Which is going to kind of give us a little bit more time to talk, actually. The more I think about it, it's great. I hope you like the fact that I put all of the instructions right away, so you don't have to have more than one screenshot per round. Let me know what you think about that. That would be great. I would really appreciate that. Thank you. And if you're making this in the same color as me, I would also like to know, this color is so pretty. It's like, I think one of my favorite colors, if not my favorite color, absolute favorite color has to be purple. Maybe not this particular shade, but I absolutely love purple. So I'm going to keep working into every single stitch around. Again, I'm doing this for the more beginners. So if you are only just starting to crochet, you are going to be able to follow every stitch around for every single round up until the completion of the join. And I think the last round I didn't record. Oh, and there's a hair. There's a hair. I've been pulling these guys out of my ball of yarn. I'm working with a scrap yarn blanket. So that means the yarn that I have is leftover yarn or yarn from projects that I've frogged that I didn't want to throw away because obviously I have a lot left. Like this one, I think I could have made 3 squares with just what I frogged. So it was pretty much a full ball of yarn that I frogged. So I didn't want to lose that, obviously, so I kept it. It's been a while I'm talking to a camera or to an empty microphone and staring at my video. It's really awkward doing out these voiceovers. So I do hope you guys enjoy them. I'm actually looking forward to being able to talk to you guys live. I don't know how I'm going to handle the chat, however. I don't have anybody to help me with what I do. So it's going to be incredibly difficult to respond to a chat. Like, I have ADHD, so I'm probably going to get very distracted and find it difficult. But I'm more than willing to try it if you guys want. I'm absolutely fine with that. I'm actually going to be hosting more of my crafts, not just crochet, but my other crafts like painting and felting and stitching or journaling. I scrapbook a little bit too, but it's mostly around my diary entries, so it's more doodles. You're going to see the doodles, or I'm going to have to like blank out my actual entry. Maybe a little bit embarrassing if you read what's actually in my diaries. So I do some of that on Twitch just because it's more of a hangout platform. And I don't have to respond. Like, I have, listen together and watch together and parties and stuff like that we can do. So I can have background music on Spotify on and just have everyone listen in on it. Just kind of cool. And that means I also don't have to worry about the background sound like I have to with these videos, because I don't know what to do with the background music anymore. Like, I have a beat maker now because I got to figure it out. I'm looking for just licensed music and unlicensed music. Uncopywritten music is a really big hassle. So if any of you out there actually have your own YouTube channels or use non-copywritten music for something that you do, like personal projects or whatever, then you completely understand what I mean. It's a hassle trying to sit through a bunch of songs and listen to something that would work with what you're doing. I would much rather just, sit back with the app going and make the music myself. Now, it's been, like I said, it's been a while I'm talking, so I am going to be taking sips and stuff. But you also might be hearing my rocking chair in the background, so I apologize for that. I need a better chair. And you may also hear my kid, well, my youngest, anyways, waking up soon. Because she did not nap today. She's been grumpy as heck this week. Has barely been sleeping, going to bed super late, waking up super early, or not sleeping properly. So it's just been exhausting. Mama's out there, you understand? It's tiring, very tiring. Oh, all right, we're finally halfway around this square. Like sitting back and watching it back and realizing how long it really took to do this. Like I slowed my pace a little bit as well. Sometimes I crochet a little bit faster. And you might see me there wavering between slow speed, average speed, and my usual, I'm kind of in my little bubble, I'm crocheting speed. Which depending on the stitch and the pattern, it can actually be quite fast. Maybe not in comparison to some of the people I've seen on Instagram and TikTok who are just insanely quick, but still pretty fast for me. I used to knit, actually started knitting before crocheting, and I always found it so long for my hands to manipulate the needles and the yarn, and it just fumbled with knitting. I never quite got the hang of it, so when I met the crochet hook, I got incredibly excited. And obviously I struggled a little bit starting out, but I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot more fun. And I didn't feel too bad pulling out a few stitches, whereas if I made a mistake in knitting and I had to frog, I got incredibly nervous and I just scrapped it because it was complicated. Like this, I had to go back a row, an entire row. Oops, pull it out, start over again. Just that row, and that was totally fine. It was so much easier. I could never design in knit stitches. I just really can't. My brain doesn't comprehend knit stitches. But with crochet, for me, I see it out like a map, as if I would have a diagram right in front of me, in one of these diagrams, I guess you could say. And it's like I have the crochet roadmap of the pattern right in my head, and I work from that. So I freehanded a lot for a very, very long time. And I'm kind of wishing now that I had taken more stock of what I was doing and the things that I was making, because I made like a ton of baby dresses, sweaters, slippers, sandals, hats. I mean, you name it, I probably tried making it or freehanding it or going off of a picture that I saw. I had so much fun. For me, it was a challenge for myself. It was like, it made me so proud to say I did that without a pattern. I did that on my own. I created that in my head. Like I was able to understand, I was able to figure out the sizing, and it fits perfectly. It's so cute. It was amazing. Like those first 2-3 years of me just creating was incredible. I was so proud of myself. And now today I'm taking that up a notch to another level, and I'm finally sharing what I'm creating now with you. I don't think I'm going to have time to really run back and pull up the old patterns that I used to do and the old projects that I've done. And since then, people have probably made these on their own and shared them. So I wouldn't feel right writing up a pattern for something that I did. Would probably already exists out there. So now for round 8, just like we did for 2, 4, and 6, it's just a solid row or round. Yes, all 4 sides are solid. So as usual, just work up in each stitch and each chain space across. And as always, continuing to work your corner spaces as we did in the last round. Just follow the instructions, they're right there. If my hands are going too fast, don't worry, there are parts of each round that slow down a little bit. Now, I've got a few projects coming up in the next couple of weeks that I'm really excited to tell you guys about, and if you have me on social media, you've probably been seeing sneak peeks here and there in my stories and on my feed. And these are going to be premium membership projects. They're bundles. They're literally a package of patterns, basically lessons, like full lesson A to Z, perfect for beginners, absolute beginners. It's also great if you just want like a bunch of patterns or a bunch of my patterns for cheaper than if you would buy them individually. Plus you get to sit and do it with a bunch of other people. So there's an open chat for the videos when they're going to be streaming live, which it will be. If I'm not streaming live, I will be in the live chat there to answer any questions, help with anything. And I will also be helping you because there is a clothing item involved. I will be teaching you how to adjust the measurements to fit you or to fit your ideal sizing. because let's face it, not everybody is made the same. And I know this from having 4 kids, 3 girls. I've made pieces for my oldest that just fit awkwardly on my other 2 girls, and I know I made it well. So my lessons are going to be very beginner based, but it's also going to have an advantage even for an experienced crocheter who is looking or interested in designing or just adjusting patterns, because not every pattern comes in the size that you want it. But if you know how to change and adjust absolutely every pattern that you can come across to suit your needs, then that's great, right? Like, that's something you learned once and that you can use for the rest of your life. That's another skill learned. So if you would like to actually learn how to do these things, you can get the bundle, and at the same time you have a bunch of bonuses that come with it. There's also a competition. So for whoever completes the bundle itself during the time, I guess, allotted, you could say, because it's a 2-week project that we're going to be working on together. And if you complete it, sorry, my throat is really stuck today. I think it's the last hour of talking. If you complete it in the same amount of time or the allotted time for the project, then you will be entered into a giveaway. You're going to receive absolutely something for having completed it. I just try and encourage people to complete projects, because this is a big thing for me too, starting and not finishing. Yeah, anyways. I figured a little bit incentive to help the more procrastinating crafters like me push themselves a little bit further. And there is going to be an itemized giveaway at the end that I will be shipping directly to whoever wins. So if you're interested, just keep an eye on my social media. Again, everything happens there. Like, all of the information is there usually. The tutorials are here, but the info is there. So if you want to know more about that, check out there. Or you can also subscribe to my newsletter, which I think the link is up on my profile. I'm not sure. Check my profile for my description links. They're all there. I think they're on my banner. I'm not used to YouTube yet. I'm gonna get accustomed to it, like the layout itself. Anyway, check there. I'm pretty sure that the link is going to be there for everything. You can sign up for my mailing list. You can join me on social media. Like I said, I would love to talk. So come and see me there. And this way you're going to have all the information that you need for when that's released. And there's going to be no giveaway if you join the project after the completion date, or at least not available to those who join after the completion date. However, whenever you complete it, you will be receiving something as a participation incentive. So that's still there. Let's finish off this round. And for the next one, we're going to be joining, or I'm going to be joining it to Drake's blanket. Finally, he's going to have another square, starting off this row with a bang. I really, really do love this color, and I like the way that it fits with this section of the blanket. You'll see what I mean when I pull it up. So let's just finish this off, join it, and we're going to get into row 9. And I'm going to take a few minutes to give my throat a rest because it's starting to sound raspy. I've been talking for a while now. Let's just kick back, relax, and finish off this row. And we're done. All right, for row 9, very simple. We're just going to start off with the beginning. We're going to be adding this guy here, right there, because it's a side join. I don't know how you built up your blanket. You could have done it differently. You could just be starting out. I'm joining this side. So I have to slip stitch so that I'm right above the previous chain space. Of course, remember alternating squares. So we're going right over the chain space, chaining up and double crocheting in the next stitch so that we make that nice little square look. Chain 2, go, skip 2, do 2 more. I don't even know why I'm doing this. We're in row 9 now. Like at this point, I think you pretty much got what we're doing. Yeah. I'm just incessantly talking for nothing now. Waiting to get to the, let's get to the next part. Not yet, not yet. Soon. I'm going to join it soon. Here comes the join. Here comes the join. Let us get this little guy in here. I really have a habit of calling these things little guys. Oh yes, by the way, if you are new here and you were wondering what I'm doing, chaining this and how I'm joining this, this is I call it the twisted invisible join. I absolutely love it. But you have to work through the slip stitches. You cannot skip them. You can't skip them. Because in this blanket, the chains, the chain stitches count as a stitch. I'm going to say that again. It counts as a stitch. So, if you're working, let's say starting on the pink is a slip stitch or a chain stitch. I'm going to get into the chain, pull up a loop, and work my stitch. Then I'm going to do the same. Pull up a loop in the next stitch, work into the purple, and pull up a stitch. See? See? Stitch it. Now, it's a chain. What do? Oh, no, sorry. The next one's a chain. My bad, my bad. So, I've got the first 2 stitches in there. The first one, the first chain, by the way, was an actual chain. So, work into this chain, into this stitch, and we're going to be chaining. Chain it. There we go. Chain. Get into the chain. I like to have the V on top of the hook, that little rib spinal thingy at the bottom of the hook. And again, you just pull your yarn through, your little loop through, and chain. There you go. There you go. You've made a chain join. And it still gives it really nice twisted look, so you can't even tell that it's just a chain. It looks like it was made to be there. They go together. They just do. So keep doing this around, repeating the pattern while making sure you don't skip any of the stitches on the side that you're joining to, because it makes it for really awkward positioning afterwards, and then you just end up with a lopsided blanket, or you have to undo it, and it's not fun, okay? It's not fun. So let's focus. And if you really need to pause here, I totally get it, because even I struggle getting into the chains, okay? It's not fun. And if you're not doing any form of join, just continue working the pattern around like we did for the last round. And that's it. Now that the join is done, just continue working, join with a slip stitch, fasten it off, tie our way, sew in your tail, and you're done. That's it for today's video. Thank you for sitting through this two-part series. If you sat through from beginning to end, I absolutely appreciate your engagement. Say hi, let me know who you are. I'd love to get to know you personally, a little bit more personally than just the name on my subscribers list. That's what my social media is for. Come and interact with me there. Get to know me as well. I don't show too much of myself here yet because I just don't have many people here. And I'm very uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable in front of the camera, guys. Does it show? I am not a tech-savvy camera person. I go crazy just trying to put on makeup for this, okay? So, I hope you enjoyed today's videos. Yes, I did it in two parts only because I couldn't save them together. And I will see you next week. Bye.